Hello math students. Tonight we're going to do a toolkit entry. Okay, so get out your toolkit and we'll make a new entry. So first go to your table of contents, okay, and add this to our newest unit table of contents that we added. Okay, we're going to do an entry on like terms. If you forgot your toolkit, do not give up on me now, alright? Write it down on a piece of paper and you can paste it in there later, okay? So you still need to take notes and paste it later. Alright, so once you have that, now we're going to set up a table, okay? I want to give you some examples of like terms, and I'm going to give you some examples of unlike terms, okay? So non-examples. So now this table, I want to try to get 3 good examples in here. Okay, and then underneath, hopefully we'll have some time for examples, like what to do with them. Once I know what they are, then what? Okay, so we'll do that underneath. Okay, if you want, you could even turn your toolkit sideways. Alright, so now that you have your table set up, let's take a look. So 3x and negative 5x. Those are considered like terms because they both have the same variable. Alright, so they have the same variable, x. Alright, let's take a look at something else. What if I had a 6y squared? Okay, so I have to have the same variable. Okay, so 7y, but I also have to have the same exponent. So this one has an exponent of 2, so does this term. Okay, so to be like terms, you have to have the same variable and same exponent. Alright, so same variable, same exponent. On our last example, I'm not going to have any variables at all. So if I had a 10 and a 27, alright, neither one of those have a variable, so those are also alike, okay? And they even have a special vocab word. They're called a constant. So 10 and 27 are alike because they have no variable. So a constant are like terms with no variable. Okay, so 10 and 27 can be added together to get 37. They can be combined. Alright, so now we have a look into like terms. Let's see what unlike terms could possibly look like. Alright, so what if I had a 5x and a 4k? Now I have a x and one has a k. So those are unlike terms because the variables are different. So let's write that down. So when the variables are different, they are not like terms and you cannot combine them. Alright, bringing us to another one. Let's look at the exponents on this one. So if I have a negative 2y squared and a 4y. So yes, they have the same variable of y, but the exponents are different. Therefore, they are unlike. You cannot combine them together. Alright, so write down exponents are different. And let's look at a third example again. Here we go. What if I had a 2x and 15? Alright, one has a variable and one does not. Therefore, they are unlike terms and they cannot be combined together. So let's add that into our notes. So on this last non-example, one has a variable and one does not. Okay, so that's a big difference. They can't be combined together. All right, hit the pause if I went too fast, or I get everything written down. We're going to slide to the bottom of our toolkit and combine like terms. All right, we're going to start out in baby steps here to give you some idea of what's going on. So notice I'm going to circle my like terms at the beginning of my expression. Now this is 6a plus 7a. Those are like terms because they have the same variable. All right, so I want you to think if I had 6 apples in one basket and 7 apples in the other, I could combine them together. And how many apples would we have total? It would be 13 apples total. So we have 13 A's. Okay, on the other end of our expression, okay, I want to include that plus sign. That plus sign is very important, and we'll see why on our next example. But now I have 4 bananas in one basket, and I have 32 bananas in a second. All right, since they're the same fruit, they're the same variable, we're going to combine them together. So 32 plus 4 is 36 bananas. All right, so we put our apples together, we put our bananas together, but those are now different. When you get down to an expression where the variables are different, you are done. Okay, so that is your final answer. You cannot combine them anymore. Okay, so look for those like terms and then add them together. All right, make room for another example. Now this one's a little bit trickier because I've added us minus signs. Okay, so be aware of those. So we have 4s minus 2t minus 2s plus 5t. Now when you see minus signs, the first thing I want you to do is make them an addition sign. We're going to use keep, change, change. So we're going to make that a plus negative 2t, and we're going to make it a plus negative 2s. Okay, so whenever you see minus signs, that's what I want you to do first thing. Okay, so first do keep, change, change to make it all addition. All right, so that's going to be our first step when we see a minus sign. Now we're going to go back and we want to look for those like terms again. But this time I didn't put them side by side. So we have 4s, so we have 4 snakes in the front. And then down here, if I go to this one, I have another s, but it's a negative 2s. Okay, so that's very important. All right, so if I combine my s's, my snakes, if I had 4 plus negative 2, so think about your integer rule, 4 plus negative 2, different sign, subtract. We would have 2s. Okay, do you agree with that one? I hope so. Now, what about the t's, the turtles, all right? So I have a plus negative 2t. So we have negative 2 turtles. But on the other end, we have a plus 5t. The plus tells me it is positive. So that's why the plus signs are so important. All right, now we have another integer problem. We have a negative 2 plus 5. All right, so different sign, subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. So that would be a positive 3. So this is a positive 2 and a positive 3. So we need to add them together. So snakes and turtles, we're not going to combine them together. So that is going to be our final answer. All right, so that's a quick look at combining like terms. And I think I'm close to my 10-minute mark, so we'll try more tomorrow in class. Thank you.